You should be ashamed of yourself. You clicked here because you wanted to learn a magic trick. And here's an easy way to do this. In this case, we're going to have a card picked, the ace of spades. That card's going to get lost and shuffled somewhere in the middle of the deck. We're going to have another card picked. In this case, why not the seven of diamonds? That card also gets lost somewhere into the middle of the deck. Again, never to be seen ever again. And why not have a third card picked? In this case, the two of diamonds. And we'll shuffle those all the way into the pack, as they say, dick deep. The two, the seven, and the ace of spades. So this right here is known as a running riffle style control. What this move allows you to do is to do a riffle shuffle and control as many cards as you want. Now, of course, I go over so many of these techniques in the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,600 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be, all for the low, low price of $5 a month. $5 a month, you get access to all those videos, and I'm always uploading new content. So why don't you go and check it out? I remember when I was younger, many, many years ago, doing a card trick for a participant, and I shuffled the deck like this, and they said, no, you're not really shuffling the pack. Only then did I pull out a riffle shuffle, and they said, okay, now you're really mixing it. I'm going to be impressed. And of course, I just controlled their card to the top of the pack. I just left it there as I did a riffle shuffle, but to them, that was a legitimate shuffle because lay people are retards. So here's what you're going to do for this control. In this case, we're going to get a pinky break above a selected card. We're going to use a queen of hearts for this example, and all I'm doing is that I'm putting my pinky in there, keeping a break. Now, at this point, you could riffle the cards, you could spread them, whatever it is you want, but ultimately, you're going to lift up at the break, and we're going to get the cards in position for a riffle shuffle. Now, of course, if you haven't imagined it already, their card is going to be the uppermost card of the left-handed pile. So if we riffle shuffle these cards, keeping this card last, guess what? You've now controlled their card to the top of the deck. And this just takes place in the action of what is a cut and a shuffle. Again, that card is right on top. Now, because their card is already on top of the deck, we could actually control multiple cards in the exact same way. In this case, we'll use the queen of diamonds. We're going to get a pinky break, again, right above it. We're going to cut the cards at that position. And this time, instead of just letting go with this card, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of a pile of cards and then the card on the left. I could then do a bridge. I could do whatever I want. And now their card, the next card, is controlled directly on top of the original. And you could repeat this as many times as you want. In this case, we're going to do the 9 of hearts. Again, now, all I'm going to do, I'm going to riffle off a bunch of cards and then finally let go of this card in my left hand. This is going to ensure that no matter how many cards I'm controlling to the top of the pack, they're still going to stay there. Again, finish with the bridge. And now all 3 cards are controlled to the top of the pack. I'm going to leave a card here face up so you see exactly what's taking place. We have the 7 of hearts. That card gets controlled right to the top of the pack. We're going to have another card picked. In this case, we have the 7 of clubs. And one more time, that card gets controlled directly on top of the other 7. I'm even going to show off with a different card here just to show you how versatile this control is. One more time. Again, all cards are controlled directly to the top of the pack. And of course, you're riffle shuffling the deck, which makes it look like you can't really control much. So I was recently perusing the Facebook Magicians Only group, and it really got my knickers in a tie. I spent a lot of time with Peter Turner in the past couple weeks, so you have to ignore my Englishisms. Now, I'd like to show you the post, but it seems to have been deleted. Why? Because magicians are pussies. Anytime they hear dissenting opinions, they decide to share their opinion on Facebook, and they can't take the heat. Now, granted, I've been in situations on this channel where people have sent me stuff to my personal address, have found my location, all because of a bunch of jokes. But I take the heat. The heat is there. I've offered many times to have arguments on a live stream with an individual, and they tend to back out. But I was reading a post on how Josh O'Jay's performing at the Kennedy Center, and he should be ashamed of himself because, well, they've canceled, supposedly, some LGBTQ-friendly events. Now, if you happen to look into it, you realize that these events weren't necessarily canceled by the venue. They were canceled by the participants in protest. And there was a back and forth about this particular situation, and it just reminded me as to how AIDS our craft is. I've realized over the years I've made a lot of jokes where I make fun of magic. As a matter of fact, I have a hat that says, "Make Magic Great Again." And I've realized my issue is not with magic. My issue is with magicians. What a toxic, fickle group of individuals that think their shit doesn't stink because they do card tricks. And also, they seem to have a misunderstanding as to how contracts work. So the purpose of the end portion of this video is to offer some sort of a challenge. If you ever want to argue with me, I'm open. let's just do it on a live stream. So I can't edit it. We can't make either party look good. If I happen to lose the argument, then I lose the argument. I'm probably not, but I'd love to argue with you if you had a disagreement with me. For example, like in that post on Joshua J. Apparently, you can't take a gig in a very prestigious place because people on Facebook get angry. Also, this is not my place. I'm dog sitting. Some people have asked me, hey, man, you have a new apartment? No, my apartment's still the same. As a matter of fact, I slept in that apartment with Peter Turner for 4 days. We took an RV trip from the West Coast to the East Coast. Fun little thing. And he ended up staying with me the last couple of days in a studio apartment in Little Havana in Miami, Florida. When I see you again, 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 when I see you again.